Welcome back. This is Monty once again from DPL Surveillance Equipment. We're a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. Me and my co-owner of the company, Carolyn, can you say hi?
Hi, this is Carolyn.
We're just doing a spreaker podcast for you guys today. And by the way, we have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have guarantees, warranties on all the products. A very huge video library where you can peruse the demonstration videos that we have and take advantage of all of the articles that we've written about everything imaginable, from the GMOs in the food to animal rights, etc., etc. If it's a good topic out there, a timely article or something, we probably wrote on it at some point in time. This particular session is all about "It's the Economy Stupid," and this is actually series number 4 of "It's the Economy Stupid," episode number 4. And the purpose why we're doing this is we just want to make sure that we get the word out there and keep reminding you guys, the consumers out there and the business owners out there, that there's some very big picture things going on, and if you run a business, or if you are just basically going from retailer to retailer, and you're trying to find out why stores are closing, why things are changing so quickly as far as retailing and services, restaurant services, job sector, things like that. We want to try to put things in the proper context, because we know a lot of people are very confused and they're very anxious about what do we do, how do we plan, and considering that what's going on. So what is going on is it's the economy stupid. Don't be misled into thinking that you have done something wrong, or you're not doing things right as far as you running your business or your personal finances or affairs are concerned. What's actually going on is the economy is going through cycles and going through transitions at the same time. This is probably the first time where the economic business cycles are actually being influenced by some other things that go beyond just the cycle that the businesses and the economy normally go through. Some of the things we're going to touch on, for instance, that are different this time is we have a transition from basically a manufacturing-based economy to an economy where you have more jobs that have been outsourced outside the United States, and therefore what's left inside the United States is basically just service. We got a service-based economy where either you're going to be working in a restaurant, or you're going to be working in a bank, or you're going to be doing something service-related. And unfortunately, that hasn't been the type of situation where you get paid the type of money, and where you employ the large numbers of people that you typically do when you have a economic cycle that's basically transitioning from a low point to a higher point. When you have service jobs that just kind of limit your upward mobility, and they don't contribute the same way as manufacturing jobs, then you don't get that typical situation where the economy and the incomes of people, they continually exceed the standard of living and give you the type of standard of life, quality of life that people are accustomed to. It's a bigger big picture scenario going on, and just keep in mind that this is something that's been put into place a long time ago, since we started transitioning into a very information-based economy out of the industrial into the technology and internet, now information, and soon to be we'll be looking at more of a situation where artificial intelligence, cloud-based services, robotics is going to be another game changer. So let's keep in mind that there are some things that we can control and there's certain things we can't control. As we start taking a look at robotics playing more and more of a role, and everything from restaurants to banking to you name it, that's going to also displace a great deal of people. So the idea of corporate America and other corporations running from country to country, looking for low-cost labor, that game is pretty much played out simply because you could only chase cheap labor for so long, and now since we're discovering that robots and combined with artificial intelligence and cloud-based services, those things are further limiting what we can do. So that's pretty much what's going on now, and we need to keep that in mind as we transition even further. So you got to prepare yourself. You got to have a skill set that's going to be relevant. Otherwise, you need to be a producer. You need to contribute by providing a product, providing a service, doing something that's going to take you out of the consumer space and put you in the producer space. So being an entrepreneur is probably going to be the way that a lot of people are going to get themselves out of poverty, lift up themselves and their family, and hopefully have a higher standard of living going forward. So more specifically, keep in mind that a lot of countries, including the United States, are looking at extremely high debt levels, and you know the trillions of dollars that the United States has in terms of debt is going to further hamper the growth in the United States. And this is not just unique to the United States, because overall debt in Japan and various countries, Europe, you name it, there's trillions and trillions of dollars of debt that needs to be serviced. And unfortunately, that's going to put a hamper on economic growth as well. So, for instance, in the United States, I think because we have at least $16 trillion of debt, when you divide that up into the population, that typically means that every single citizen carries $60,000 in debt. When you distribute the $16 trillion amongst all of the citizens of the United States, every single person is going to have about $60,000 before they even make their first paycheck. So this further hampers growth. And some of the signs, some of the things you're going to look for that's going to give you a very good idea that things are not going to be picking up very quickly. Look at the GDP rate. It's barely inching out at 0.2 something. And so if we can get a GDP of 2%, then we're lucky. But for the most part, it looks like the growth of the United States is not going to be anything worth bragging about anytime soon. So that's another thing hampering growth, just the idea that there's nothing to invigorate the economy, to push it forward, really. So not to be put too much emphasis on the gloom and doom, the negative things, but we just want you to know that if you run a business, keep focused on the things that you normally would do. Find innovative products, services to offer your customers. Keep up your advertising. Find new and creative ways of reaching your customers as much as possible. And that's probably going to be one of the most effective things that you can do, because the gross domestic product and certain things aren't gonna lift all boats as they typically do when you have an economic situation where the economy that's growing fast lifts all the boats and lifts all the people's incomes and everything. That's not going to happen. So you got to do it yourself. Grow your customer base, find new products and services for your companies. If you're in the marketplace, keep your skills up to date. Look at programming, look at coding, look at some of the things that are going to be relevant. Cybersecurity, look at some of the skill sets that are going to be relevant going forward, and you'll be able to do a lot better than the average people, okay? So, again, 2.5 to 3.2% gross domestic product is nothing to write home about. And that's with a margin of error. If the Congressional Budget Office and those guys who keep track of these numbers, if they're halfway correct, and there's a margin of error of always 1.5%, so actually we could have little or no growth going on with those types of things. And as I mentioned before, negative interest rates is another major indication that there's a problem. Every single country almost is experiencing negative interest rates, whereby you basically have to pay the banks to keep your money, and a lot of people are just keeping their money under their safes and in their safes, under the mattress, in the backyard, wherever they can. They're not spending because they're afraid. They know something's going on. Central bankers are completely perplexed. One of the silver linings is blockchain and Bitcoin is being adapted and looked at by central bankers and central bankers and Federal Reserve people all over the world are looking at investing money in blockchain and Bitcoin-based research and projects, etc. So they're trying to figure out how they can embrace this new currency and this new way of handling money before the dollar and fiat currencies completely collapse. So that's one of the silver linings. So we could go on and on and on about the things to take a look at, the indicators, the shipping, the shipping companies, the major shipping companies filing for bankruptcy. The major South Korean shipping company, I think it's Hyunjin, filing for bankruptcy, can't get the goods off the boats because they owe creditors so much money. Rail line shipments are down. You name it. Retailers can't keep shelves stocked up. Retailers are discounting 60, 70, 80%, thinking that the way to go is just to discount your product and just compete on price alone. Everybody's competing with Amazon, but Amazon is really just has some weird business model where it really doesn't matter whether or not they're really making a whole lot of money, as long as they're using investors and taking advantage of the patience of investors in terms of postponing true business model that people don't understand for the sake of just plowing money into different areas, whether it's cloud, whether it's TV, whether it's drones, whether it's shipping, whether it's, you name it. Amazon is just using money, buying itself time to get into every conceivable market, and people are competing with that, thinking that that's going to, somehow benefit them. So anyway, there's a lot of different things going on, but try to stay focused and listen to these It's the Economy Stupid podcast, and try to stay keep your pulse on what's going on with your business, with your industry, and keep a tabs of what's happening with your competitors. And if you're a consumer, save your money. The savings rates are at historical lows. 50% of the United States citizens do not have adequate retirement money. And those are very, very dismal numbers, and that could be a potential time bomb waiting to explode by itself. Pensions and stuff are underfunded across the board with corporate America. Just a lot of indicators. Okay, so anyway, hunker down, get prepared. It's going to be a low, drawn-out process, but stay focused and stay optimistic. But realize it's the economy stupid. You guys have a great day. If you have any need for surveillance and security products, bug detectors, listening devices, GPS trackers, etc., give us a call. 888-344-3742. That's 888-344-3742. Thanks for stopping by. Carolyn, you want to say bye to the people?
Thank you for listening.
Okay, so you guys take care and bring a friend, enemy, relative, associate back to the next session.